If you take away the wealth that I have made, give me just my name, because with that name, I'll have doors opening for me. We solve societal problems that have social impact. We make money.
I will be spending 100 hours with Dr. Kennedy Okonkwo, gathering first-hand insights into how he built a multi-billion-dollar company in construction, renewable energy, and electric automobile.
I started development when I was 27 years. They will always tell you that there will always be a crisis period. But let me remind you, despite those crises, we have a new set of billionaires. And tomorrow we'll have a new set of billionaires. Because despite how tight the economy is, more money is being made in the economy. More people are being empowered. The opportunity is getting bigger.
Throughout this journey spending time with him, I would experience firsthand what it's like to run a large business and navigating the million challenges that comes with it.
With over 6,000 projects in Kitty delivered, we are still delivering more. There's practically no business I've not put my money in. I've sold shirts, I've sold generators. Everything that was doable to make sure that you had money, there's nothing I haven't done. But there's nothing that gives me the joy that real estate gives me.
He would also share with me how he built his business from scratch, and I hope you learn from it. And guys, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to this channel and give this video a like so more people would see this awesome story. I'll be going to meet him at his residential home in Banana Island.
I don't know when exactly we're supposed to start our day, but of course there's this thing with rich people and coming early in the morning, right? Because I have to leave my house like 7.
The first thing I noticed stepping into his house are the luxury cars. I know so well these are not all his vehicles. The space is definitely not enough to park all of his cars, but he secretly told me he has a new Rolls Royce coming in soon. Shh, I didn't tell you guys anything.
To be candid, life was quite tough growing up. We were born in a place called Alagomeji, 29 Mole Street. I think I have a few videos of that.
Yeah.
I went there sometime this year. It's still the same old house. Life was tough. But fortunately, my brother in Ndukwu, my elder sister, opened a store for my mom in Ikeja, Madame Ndukwu restaurant. And everything took a turn around the moment my father died, I was barely a 15-year-old boy. And the house that we called a home, which was our shop then, a very small space where people cannot sit to face each other, they sit to face the wall. So we were kicked out of the place by the landlord and, found ourselves under the bridge.
You were under the bridge?
Yes.
In Lagos?
In Lagos.
How come I've never...
It's online, If you go to the hotel, there's an artwork done by a very famous artist in Abuja. The artwork in the hotel depicts my story. You can imagine when you wake up in the morning and you need to shower very early before the bus stop gets bustling.
Everybody's sharing one bathroom?
There's no bathroom, it's under the bridge. If you don't shower very early before people start coming out, you have to forget it for the day. Subsequent to that, my sister took me in to finish my secondary school. Then my cousin came and took me in and, he gave me a roof. From that moment when I had a roof over my head, everything changed. And that's why I always tell people, if you want to find a man's true ambition, his vision for life and himself, give him a good roof. If you give a man a good roof over his head, his story changes for the better. So from the point when I had a good roof over my head, my vision of who I was, who I can become, changed for the better.
After a brief conversation with him, he informed me I'll be traveling to 2 different states within Nigeria with him and return back to Lagos the same day. I had no idea I had to travel today, but let's get it. Chief Priest would accompany us, so we went to pick him up in his house.
Anybody who is flying out from here is definitely flying with a private jet. So I guess I'm about to experience what it feels like to fly private.
No queues, no boarding passes, no delay. Just arrive when you are ready to leave and the pilot is on standby with plenty of food. This life must be nice. Our visit to the government house here in Delta State was to show the governor his new electric vehicles and some of the features it has.
Yes. Just shut down, yes. One press.
And just plug the car at anywhere.
So just plug it like this.
So what's happening right now is he's trying to show the governor the electric car that's right behind me. Right behind me right there.
The governor drove the car, He loved it, and I think he ordered some for his cabinet. I'm not sure, but you can tell by the smile on Dr. Net's face. Next, we headed to Ndukwu to deliver some more EVs and then flew back to Lagos that same evening.
80-85% of the whole vehicles in Germany are electric powered vehicles. So why is Nigeria behind? And so we're creating solutions for those problems. And that's how we dabbled into the EV industry.
Well, a lot of people's concern now is like Nigeria, we don't have 24/7 electricity. Most people don't have this electricity in their house. So how are they going to cope with getting an
I want
EV?
to ask you a question.
Yes.
When was the last time you slept in a house without electricity?
I mean, I might say
I'm turning this interview around.
No.
When was the last time you slept in a house
No,
without
I
electricity?
might say I am a little bit privileged, right?
You are privileged.
A little bit.
Now I want to tell you that practically everybody who owns a car in Nigeria is privileged. So the mistake you make is presuming that people don't have energy. I want to tell you that in the afternoon, all the banks in Nigeria are generating energy. The hotels are generating energy. The filling stations are generating energy. The supermarkets are generating energy. That reserve energy needs to be sold to somebody.
Yeah, they do have electricity, but it is how they are generating it. A lot of people generate it via petrol generator, diesel generator, which is now very expensive.
And people generate energy that they don't need. In South Africa, they have declared an emergency in the power sector, despite the fact that they generate over 40,000 megawatts of energy. Because what South Africa has done today is that if you generate solar energy, you can sell the excess of what you need to the national grid. Let's say in the afternoon, I leave my home and I have a generator on. Do you know that an EV car, if we have charging points in front, people who have EV cars in this area can come and buy energy in front of my house with 20 kilowatts or 25 kilowatts, which is 10,000 naira. They have full fuel tank in their energy bank in their car. And then with that, they can run 330 kilometers. You can imagine the amount they will save driving an EV car. Everybody has the opportunity to become a vendor of energy with Citadel Power. So Citadel Power will provide the EV charging points. So we are deploying them across Nigeria. You can drive your vehicle to any of those charging points that we have identified across Nigeria on the application. And you charge your car there and you pay money. And the man who runs that charging point earns energy.
The next day, I met him at his office. He is meeting with CIG Motors.
He's actually signing a partnership with the CIG Motor Group
and collaborate in delivering 2,000 electric vehicles within Nigeria with charging stations.
He's trying to advocate, sustainable living.
What is important in all of this is a lot of harm and damage has been done to the environment in our quest for mankind to develop, harness, and produce energy. And so we need to start to consciously reduce all the environmental hazards that mankind is creating. And the EV mobility is one of those mediums for which we can reduce the impact of carbon footprint on our environment. Based on that, we as a company are championing the mass rollout of EV vehicles, EV charging points across our estates. We're doing this in collaboration with the Choice Group because we believe that they share the same visions with us, and that's why we are partnering with them on this journey.
He built his wealth with construction, selling affordable and luxury properties in Nigeria, which he is very much still passionate about and has been able to diversify into renewable energy and EVs. Later that day, I accompanied him to launch a new estate called Capital Gardens. So we went to launch Capital Gardens with a GMD of Fidelity Bank.
So we are building low-cost houses here. We hope to deploy 4,000 low-cost houses within the next 2 years. So we have started some of them further down there.
It was here I got to learn he owns and operates a paver stone automated manufacturing factory that produces interlocking stones for landscaping.
So what we have here is the loading bay. This is the unfinished materials. Trucks come and load here. You see, this is our Caterpillar. We have 10 of them. Each machine line has 7 of those forklifts. For me, we want to balance our investment across regions. So what we have here, we are replicating the same thing in that new Enugu city. So we have a vehicle assembly plant, that's the same way we have in Lagos. We also have this stone factory. We also build the Citadel. There's practically no business that I've not put my money in. I put my money in selling rice. Put my money in bringing beans from northern Nigeria. I've sold shirts. I've sold generators.
Yeah.
I've brought in furniture doors. I've brought in Iveco trucks. I've done block production. When I mean block, I mean construction block. I've done selling shirts, Hughes and Curtis shirts. I'll buy from the store and come and distribute and sell to my colleagues.
Yeah.
You know, I've had a car hire business. Everything that was doable to make sure that you had money going on for you.
Your love for real estate, did it come because you didn't have a place to stay and it was you just wanting to build for other people because you were underprivileged?
I think real estate chose me. I made my first money as a youth copper from a property sold in BBC for 280,000.
You just brokered the deal.
280,000 naira.
You brokered the deal.
Yes, so I used 240,000 naira to buy a car. You know, at a point when the plot of land was going for about 100,000 in Songotedo. That was a big mistake. But the moment I had squandered that money, the moment I realized that things were not going the way I wanted, I went back to my first opportunity that I had to make money. I went back to real estate.
Tell us about the journey, you know, how you progressed and then up until
So don't forget, when I did my first real estate deal, I was barely a copper. Okay. This was way back 2001. I was working while still doing real estate. My job was a 9-to-5 job. So every other time from 5 Saturdays, Sundays, I worked throughout because I needed to meet up.
Yeah.
The friends that I had are people who were working in oil and gas company and were making good money. Bankers that were earning good money. So my wife was earning very good money. So I needed to be long. So some years later, a friend of mine calls me and says, hey, there's an opportunity to develop a property and I think you can do it. Mind you, I was working. I was doing paid employment.
How did he know you have knowledge about real estate?
He's my friend. And he takes me to the woman. And the woman asked, can you do it to develop a bungalow in Oniru? I said, yes, I can. 2004. And I went there. We had a conversation. Said, okay, this is my sister. She's a nurse. She works in General Hospital. That she'll give you the property to develop. We'll give you 14-year lease. We signed the document.
You had a 9-to-5. You had no idea about construction.
Well, the much I know is that people build houses. And in Oniru, there are people who are meat sellers, who were developers. So the question was, if this meat seller can do it, not talk of me that I went to university. So I told the person I can do property development. So I got one boy, his name is Ito. He's a bricklayer that works with all those meat sellers that were also developers.
Yeah.
And so I gave Ito my first project. And we built it in record time. We were bungalows.
Wow. So how did you go like financing the project? Like
I borrowed money now. Imagine somebody on 68,000 salary trying to build something at 1 point something. I went to borrow money from my oga in the office. But you know what I did that was so unique? I made my house one of the finest houses in the area. That when others were charging 250,000 naira per room and parlor self-contained, mine was going for 380,000 naira per room and parlor self-contained.
More expensive.
So by the time I rented out 3 units, I was able to pay my oga back his money. So by the time I had the next one, he would borrow me money again. And gradually I did the number of units that I did. Those bungalows on a build, operate and transfer basis. And when I felt I needed to start proper development, build and sell, I went back and sold those leases at half the price. So if you are living in my house and your rent is 600,000 naira a year, and I have 10-year lease left there, which is 600,000 times 10, I'll tell you that, you know, Steve, let me offer you this lease at 3.5 million naira. You don't need to pay rent. I forward sold those leases and took immediate value and I cashed out. Mind you, my salary was 68,000.
68,000.
My salary was less than 1 million. So I have multiple number of those units. So by the time I was selling them, I'll sell one, I'll sell two here. I used the money to go and start my first set of build and sell. So I was making more money from my side business, side hustles, than my 9-to-5. So I had multiple businesses.
So I think you already had that foundation of entrepreneurship. Well, so the question is, where did you get it from?
I just wanted to hustle and survive.
So this was you just trying to survive, anything to make money?
See, let me tell you, there is nothing I hate like poverty. I can't stand poverty. So the only way I can come out of it is to make sure that I double my earnings. And I knew that a 9-to-5 will not give it to me. Let me shock you. You are doing a 9-to-5 where they are paying you 68,000 naira a month or even 80,000 naira a month. Whereas your rent in Oniru settlement scheme is 600,000 or 700,000 naira. I know how that funny thing is. They'll tell you that you must never spend more than 33% of your earnings on rent.
On rent, yeah.
But here was I spending 80% of my earnings on rent.
On rent.
Now, when we write our address, my address reads 178 Oniru Estate, Victoria Island, Lagos.
Lagos, straight up. Yeah, that's branded.
I wanted the address Victoria Island, Lagos. So my salary was practically paying my rent. So I needed to work harder. Those who live in Okafa Solo, what they know is beer parlor, Nkwobi. Those who live in Victoria Island, in this our Lekki side, they know seafood.
And this comes to say, like, your environment really does a lot to you.
Shapes you.
Yeah.
When we started the Victoria Crest brand, we started on the basis that we wanted something for the middle class that could make aspirational living affordable. Don't forget, before I started doing Victoria Crest homes, I was doing properties in Chevron, building fully detached houses.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was building. For 20 years, I've been building. So from those Oniru, I went to do build, operate, and transfer in Lekki Phase 1. From there, I went to do buildings on their own. And so from doing those buildings on our own, we tried to do communities because people could not have houses that have pipe-borne water. They will tell you Lekki water is not good.
Yeah.
And there were just 1 or 2 estates that had good water. So I said to myself, we need to solve this water problem. And the only way you can solve it is to have a central borehole, a central water treatment plant, have an estate. It will not be for one house. So that's how we started building estates. And then when we started building those estates, we now came back and said, you know what? Let us do something for the middle class. We try to do real estate based on data. And wanted to do projects that with or without government, people will buy from us. Wanted projects that target the consumers. So I didn't want to go to Ikoyi and build houses that nobody will buy. I wanted something that, you know, like they say, like akara. And so we started the Victoria Crest brand. And you know what? The template we started with is what everybody in Orchard Road is using today.
Now. Yeah.
Build a house that has a swimming pool, that has a gym. We upgraded to the one that will have 5 asada straight off.
You started developing first in that area, right?
Yes, now.
Orchard.
No, we had people who were before us. Big ups to KBC, Oni of Ife, your Jaja one.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, KBC has been very supportive of my, you know, success, my progress. Okay. He has prayed for me countless times.
Yeah.
Blessed me. He will always tell you, he handed over to me.
And this counter oppose what people say is like the Igbo people are not wanted in Lagos. Because that's the narrative a lot of people are pushing.
No. I am hashtag made in Lagos.
Yeah.
So if you see me write it, I mean every bit of it. I'm an Alagomeji boy. Born in Alagomeji, grew up in the Keja, Alagomeji. I went to live there at primary school.
Yeah.
My Yoruba name is Bamidele. So I started making Igbo friends when I have become made. The closest buddies I have are Yoruba, so you can't take it away from them. Whether I make the money to build this big mansion, I made the money in Lagos.
The next day, we took a trip to Delta State to attend the governor's son wedding. On touching down, he surprised his mom with a brand new car, and you can see she was very excited.
So this is my mom's 75th birthday, so I bought her this. Wow, congrats. Mom, this is your car.
Hallelujah. Oh my God. Jesus, you are so cool.
We had to keep it moving because it was getting crowded. Most people came here to take pictures with the video, which for me was the first time seeing him up close. The video performed at the wedding and there were lots of dignitaries in attendance. We headed back to Lagos and then visited his project at Lekki Foreshore, an entirely new neighborhood in Lagos, which is ideally an extension of Phase 1, but even better. I like to call this area the Eco-Atlantic of Lekki. He's building 32 units of luxury villas and close by another 40 units of 2-bedroom luxury apartments.
So what you see here is one of my baddest projects.
when you say baddest,
the time I've taken towards conceiving, conceptualizing and designing is mad. So you can imagine a project that has 20 architects. They are designing 32 luxury houses.
Like you have different units, different types of
different types, different designs.
Yeah.
The whole idea is if it's luxury, it should not be replicated. Your house is personal to you.
To you, yeah.
So let's conceive it the way you
want it, yeah.
To have that house. So we have 32 units total, 20 different designs.
Yeah.
And we have not finished designing. And as I speak to you, out of that 32, 21 gone.
So you say real estate in Lagos is one of the hardest things to do, but you've been in the game for 20 years. So what is still keeping you in the game for 20 years when you know like it's one of the most difficult things to do?
Let me tell you this. I do other things, right?
Yeah.
But there's nothing that gives me the joy that real estate gives me. Have you heard the word VUCA? Volatile,
yeah.
Uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. That's the broad definition of Nigeria.
Yeah.
Real estate business for you. It is so because we are what you call a developing economy. When you have to describe real estate in the developed world, it's a totally different ballgame. But you want to know the truth, because of that VUCA, that uncertainty, is what makes it a possibility for you to make a lot of money. The housing deficit is there, but the uncertainty is because practically everybody who does real estate falls off after 5 years. There's just very few that have remained at the top echelon of real estate. You haven't asked yourself, the people that have been in insurance for the past 20 years are still there. Look at banking. The people in banking industry are still there. Look at the oil and gas.
Yeah.
Many of them are still there. Manufacturing, many of them are still there. So can you tell me second generation real estate business in Nigeria? And so it goes beyond the razzmatazz of what you see, dealing with so much uncertainty.
Having known this complexity, how did you go about it?
So you see, for me as a person, first and foremost, we have the brand called NED.
Yeah.
Right? In building the company, I infused those things I wanted my brand to represent. We have tried to take it back, taking care of the customers, making sure that what we say is what we do. When we say we'll give you a house in 2 years, 18 months after the house is there, what do we do at this end? We create value. We solve societal problems that have social impact. We make money. To build real estate business in Nigeria is one of the toughest things we'll ever do. But you know what?
Yeah.
God has given us the grace and we have mastered the art. The first rule is, with the money I have as a property developer, can that money develop this project 50% without off-taker money?
Have you done any project outside of Nigeria?
Yes.
How comparing that to Nigeria, how
It's a lot much more organized. You don't get to sweat like this.
And
then you have people trying to steal from you,
yeah,
artisans, construction workers, even your suppliers.
Yeah.
I'm not a construction professional, by the way.
You just hire the companies.
Hire the competent hands to run the project.
Yeah.
A developer is an investor.
Which is the hardest part when you're going to speak about it?
The two parts that are most difficult is construction management and financing. You are wondering which one should you drop.
Yeah.
Because if you take your eyes off the financing part, the project will suffer. If you take your eyes off the construction part, trouble with the financing, you will not be able to meet your obligation.
And you're doing all the infrastructure inside this estate from scratch, like the drainage, the street light.
Yeah, the drainages are coming.
Everything.
The street lights, fiber optic internet, pipe-borne water, underground power cabling, all of those will be done here. We're expecting gas plant.
A gas plant?
Yeah, that will power the estate.
It's powered by gas?
It will be powered by gas. So you can see this space that we have just
Is it going to make it more expensive or cheaper?
Yeah, well, cheaper, but not just cheaper, but reliable. We just want to ensure that we give people uninterrupted power supply.
What has been done so far?
A lot. Piling, construction work going on, foundations being done, drainages being done.
So this is the show house?
The welcome center.
Welcome center.
So the welcome center will be powered via solar. So work is ongoing here. When you put the price online, by then would have increased the price, and then somebody's telling you,
like,
oh my God, I saw it on Steve's video. For starters, this property is about 1.2 billion.
1.2 billion?
But it's on promotion.
So that rate
for
is
950 million naira only.
If I had that money, like, I probably can sell that unit for like 1.5 billion when it's done. How many of this kind of projects are you handling at the moment?
We have 8 sites.
8 sites currently running? 8
sites, some are at the design stage.
He also has affordable projects like Citadel 2.0 and Citadel Oasis, which is building hundreds of units of apartments and terraces.
Stephen, welcome to Citadel Views 2.0, the city powered by the sun.
I mean, you're going to correct me, but we're looking at like 100 units of,
way more than that, 289.
200 and? Yeah. Oh, wow.
About 200 units.
When did you guys start this project?
We started around July 2022.
And when did you deliver it for people to move in?
So we build and deliver in phases. So the first phase was delivered 12 months after, which will be July 2023.
So, but right now, all the phases are completed?
Everything is ready.
And that took how long?
It took about 18 months.
18 months? That is not even up to
months.
2 years. It's not even up to 2 years.
No.
200 and something unit.
Over 200 units. Yes.
Wow, that's like very impressive.
So we have 1-bedroom apartments, 2-bedroom apartments, 2-bedroom terraces with BQ, 3-bedroom terrace, 4-bedroom terrace, 4-bedroom semi-detached. With BQ, with and without private swimming pools.
Yes.
So we have units with their private swimming pools in this community. The 2-bedroom terrace with BQ started at about between 45 and 50 million.
This was 2 years ago. Almost 3 years ago.
And then now it's going for 94 million. For anyone who bought at that time, they've literally doubled their investment.
This is amazing. That is 100% return on investment.
What we always say is identify where government is going to
and
go with them, because that's where the money is
going. So is the government coming to this area?
The government has been on this area for quite a number of years now.
Yeah.
And they are doing so much more further down the road. Our communities are infused with such beautiful infrastructure and amenities that, you can literally live, work, and play. So I'm taking you into a typical two-bedroom terrace with BQ. This apartment is very spacious, and like I told you, first-time home buyers, growing families, this is the living area.
What they are gonna.
Yes,
So
it is spacious.
When
Yeah.
you guys deliver this, you
Yes.
deliver with all of these things
No,
in place?
it comes.
This is just a show unit.
Yes, this is a show unit.
So what
it
do you
comes,
deliver it with?
fully fitted with kitchen cabinets,
Oh yeah.
wardrobes, lights, fixtures, the toilet fixtures.
So this is a 2-bedroom with BQ. And how much is this right now?
This is going for 94 million.
94 million.
With solar.
Do people need to pay cash or they can split?
Because it is completed,
Completed.
it has to be. Yes.
drop
So
them
if you
on
want to
here.
do a spread payment, then you have to go to Oasis with me.
Oh yeah,
So
we're gonna
we,
go check that
we
out.
do 12 months and 18 months payment plan.
Yeah.
20% initial deposit, and then you can spread balance over 12 or 18 months. But the 18 months has a very tiny interest. And then, of course, we have the 2 rooms upstairs and a family lounge. All of our houses, excluding 1-bedroom apartment, comes with 2 living areas.
2 living
the main
areas,
one,
okay.
and then a family
I wasn't
lounge.
expecting to see a 2 living room for a 2-bedroom.
Well,
Usually you see like 3.
Or apart from the apartments.
Yeah.
All the terraces come with 2 living areas.
Oh wow.
So this is the master's bedroom.
Okay.
It is quite spacious.
Yes, it is.
Compared to what you see.
But if you guys were building
around,
this in Lekki, it will not be this special, eh?
it will be this spacious.
So let's just be clear. Are you guys still selling here or it's fully sold out and secondary market has
We have
started?
very few units.
What kind of
available
units
here.
are available? Because I'm going to let
we
you guys know if you want to buy. I'm going to leave a contact in the description. You're
Yes,
going
so
to
we
call.
have 2-bedroom. We have 2-bedroom terrace with BQ. We have 3-bedroom terrace. We have 4-bedroom semi-detached.
All
with
selling in this
swimming
location.
pool.
We went to a nearby project called Citadel Oasis.
This is Citadel Oasis, Abramadesoya Road, Ogombo, overlooking the prestigious Charterhouse School.
It's been a while I drove to this road and I'm quite impressed with what I'm seeing. Like just things just built around. Like a lot of companies are building.
I told you that.
Yeah.
A lot is happening this way. Yeah.
How many units
So we
of
have-
what are we expecting in this?
We have over 300 units here.
300. Yeah, like
Yes.
so.
We have 300.
They
We have a total of 300.
They have a lot of projects, so sometimes, like she needs to look at to really know which of the project it is.
Yeah.
But
Well, we have a mix of 2-bedroom apartments,
Yeah.
2-bedroom terrace with BQ. We already started construction work for some of them. So these ones are 2-bedroom terrace with BQ. We have
Yeah.
3-bedroom terrace. We would have
Up to
4-bedroom
4.
semi-detached.
Semi-detached,
duplexes.
yeah. So
yeah, most of what we have in front, I think, are the apartments from our
Apartment.
drawing.
the 2-bedroom now, how much are they selling now?
The 2-bedroom apartments are selling for 75.
75
Yeah.
right now.
Yes.
Oh wow! So
Well, that's 72.5. That's for off-plan.
Off-plan, that's
so
12
at
months.
Off-plan, we still have our pre-launch price currently, running. So we do several launches during the lifetime of the project.
estimated time. When do you think
So
this estate should be
Citadel
like
Oasis is under Project 1025. So the first set of
By October.
units, yes, will be ready in October
Yeah.
2025.
because that's usually what a lot of people are concerned about,
By
right? Yeah,
And you can trust us
yeah.
with our word. If we say we'll deliver, we come back 10 months from now and we'll just be doing finishing touches.
So you said the 2-bedrooms 72.5 now.
2-bedroom apartments.
What do you think
yes.
would be the estimated price at, let's say, October?
We should be able to command
100
30
million.
to 50, 30 to 50% return on investment for this buy.
So it's good for flipping. Those that want to flip
Absolutely.
and even
We have a lot of customers that,
all they do is
that's
just
all they
flipping,
do,
yeah.
especially from the diaspora, because they are not here. They're looking for how to, put their money to work. So they buy at off-plan stage
Yeah.
and they flip when we're done.
So if you hear like they have at least 1,000 units undergoing construction in Nigeria. One of the things that I really wanted to learn making this video is understanding how the real estate industry operates, and most of all, how you can make wealth with real estate. So these are like off-land projects. I'm probably going to put my own money down as well to try and start building my own portfolio. When they say they're going to deliver in 10 months it is. I'm going to leave my contact number in the description section if you want me to take you or introduce you directly to the company. So they're going to give me better deal that I'm going to give to you guys, right? So I'm going to leave my contact there. You're going to call me up. I'm going to speak to you. I'm going to introduce you to the company and let you know all of the different types of units currently in the market right now. If you want to invest in the company, whether you want cheap, you want affordable, you want middle, you want super luxury. So yeah, check in the description and see my number. Call me up. Somebody put something up on Twitter. They were like, Nigeria is not a country that is meant to allow young people own real estate because of how expensive it is, poor mortgaging, interest rate is crazy and stuff like that. So what would you say to young people?
I think the problem is a lot of young people in Nigeria, they drive their homes. They go and drive GLE, they drive those cars that will buy them a terrace house. And they say it's government. No, it's not government. It's your forefathers that have sworn for the person.
It's social media.
Do you understand?
Influence,
There's a lot of competition going on out there. You see a young girl, she wants to carry a bag that is 120 million. You ask somebody what they want, they say they want Mercedes. You are not seeing flats. You are not seeing plot of land. I started development when I was 27 years. It's the same Nigeria. They always tell you, Andrew, no check out. It happened during IBB, Nigeria go better. They will always tell you that there will always be crisis period. But let me remind you, despite those crises, 40 years ago, where was Aliko Dangote? 40 years ago, where was Femi Otedola?
I wasn't alive to tell.
40 years ago, where is Iho Sanomi? 40 years ago, those great people that you hear their name, that is established today in Nigeria, where were they 40 years ago? So today we have a new set of billionaires. And tomorrow we have a new set of billionaires. Because despite how tight the economy is, more money is being made in the economy. More people are being empowered. The opportunity is getting bigger. Come on, back in the days, the thing that people see to export in Nigeria was predominantly cocoa and coal. Today, people are exporting lithium-ion battery, lead, gold. Come on now. It's human beings that are doing it now.
So
opportunities are everywhere.
There's going to be ways to make more money.
There would always be, because this is Nigeria. Nigeria is a country that we have been blessed with multi-mineral resources. I always tell people this. If you take away the wealth that I have made, give me just my name. I still want to keep my name. Because with that name, I'll have doors opening for me.
Okay, so what are you going to do? Everything is stripped away from you, but you still have your, Kennedy Okonkwo.
Oh my God.
What are you going to do? Fire chat now.
The introduction is simple. Hi, my name is Dr. Kennedy Okonkwo. I've helped more than 6,000 young people become homeowners. I can do it again. Believe in me. Give me your money. Let me go and build you a house. How about that? I don't have money now. Give me. You give me now. I was talking to someone, recently. What do you do? I was talking to a young man. What do you do? In 6 minutes, less than 6 minutes, he told me 8 different things. You must become established and rooted in one before you diversify.
And I feel the reason why the banks are even willing to work with you in your EV space is because of the success in real estate.
Oh yes, we've done real estate 20 years, still counting. And so you ask a young man, what do you do? I'm a DJ. After DJ, I own a laundry. After that, I'm a banker. After that, he has 20 things.
So after following him for all these days, these are some of the things that I learned making this video and some that you should be aware of. First is building wealth does take time. For him, he has been in the game for more than 20 something years. That's like more than 2 decades honing his craft. But most of all, you have to start out doing one thing. So for him, he started out with real estate and construction. He made a name in it, he perfected it before he was able to diversify into renewable energy and EVs. So number 2 would be, you cannot rely on one stream of income. I noticed he has like multiple businesses, but it all started with one business. So whether you're an entrepreneur or business person, you need to start with one stream of income, perfect it, make a name in it, but most importantly, you need to make a game plan to diversify and build multiple streams of income. So number 3 would be collaboration is essential. And he was trying to explain to me, of all the businesses that he has created, the foundation is usually collaboration, whether it be in real estate. He's not he didn't study construction or whatever. He's not an architect, he's not an engineer, he's not a civil engineer or whatever, right? He's just a business person that goes ahead collaborating with construction companies. He brings them on and they go ahead and develop these projects for him. So you see, and then for also the EV side of things, you can see he just collaborated with the CIG Motor Group for 2,000 EVs. So they are already the producers of these EVs and he's just collaborating with them. So for every business he goes into, he collaborates, and that is how I'm beginning to reason, and that's how you should start reasoning doing business. Number 4 would be don't spend your active income. So you need to make sure you are investing in income producing assets, and then the cash flow that comes out of it is what you spend. So for most of them, flaunting all these luxury cars, luxury houses, flying private jet, it is not their active income they're using. They're only using the profits, the cash flow they have from all their businesses. I had to learn this firsthand. And number 5 would be you should make sure you are in a business that is in demand. For him, he started with real estate. When you think about the housing deficit, everybody does need a home. More countries, more governments are now moving towards the EV route, and in the future a lot of people are going to be driving EVs, and that's why he's seen those projections and then going into that industry. So you see, he's thinking way ahead. And also with his power company, which is Citadel Power, he's selling. So for everything he does, he's making sure he's going into a business that would be relevant regardless of what the economy is saying. The next day we headed to his country home, aka the village, to visit his village mansion and experience the Igbo culture in his hometown, Ojoto. You can watch the full documentary we did about life in the village as an Igbo man and why the Igbos love to build big mansions in their villages. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel and then watch this other video next.